Hi, this is going to be a video on interpreting and Kundalini symptoms and how to ground, some techniques that people generally use to ground out if you're feeling very energetic. How do you know if your various symptoms are awakening related or Kundalini related and not indicative of some sort of medical pathology? Well, that's where you have to use some detective work. Generally speaking, Kundalini symptoms are just so strange and odd and not something you've felt before in your life, nothing close. And if you talk to your family and friends about what you've just felt, they generally won't understand because they don't have any experience in them. If they don't have any experience in the matter, they'll just be able to match their own limited experience of the mundane. So, speaking of matching experiences, you might want to go online and you match it up with something you've read about chakras opening and things like that. The problem with this is that the models are vastly simplified. So in a 2-minute video, you'll see somebody's chakras being opened, their central channel being opened, and becoming enlightened, all within the span of a couple minutes. And the problem is that it's generally years, decades, if not your whole life, type of process. So we like to wishful think that this or that chakra has just opened because we felt this or that type of sensation near where the chakra we think is located. And I often see these pronouncements on forums that, yes, my this or that chakra has opened. If I had 10 cents for every time somebody said that and it really wasn't the case at all, then I'd be pretty rich, It's just a gradual opening process, and you'll feel tons of sensations near your chakras all the time. It doesn't mean that they're totally open, it means that they're opening. So you try to match some of the sensations to other people's experience, and they might give you some advice. Yet it might not be an accurate understanding of what you're going through, because there's various type of reasons for any one sort of sensation. So, for example, I might feel some sort of pressure or pain in my head, but I know that's just indicative of a very sensitive, my head is just very sensitive to energy, or as another person, it might indicate a blockage. So you kind of have to be careful of what the type of advice people give you, and you have to be your own guru. Most of all, you just have to relax and chill out, watch it, because it's your body evolving. It knows what to do. There's millions upon millions of micro type of reactions and things going on in your body to help your body evolve. So don't think that you're doing this one thing or another thing is going to make all that much of a difference. We like to think, using our ego, that we're solving the puzzle, but actually we're just pieces of puzzle and somebody's solving us. Another wrench that gets thrown into this you're trying to interpret your own systems is you have to navigate through all these ancient vernaculars that are steeped in mythology and gods and mysticisms. And the best thing to do with that is just think about the meanings behind the words, not so much the gods or the symbols of snakes and deities and things like that, but just think of the meanings of what they represent. And this is including all traditions, Christians included. You can think of God or as a monotheistic, prime creator, or you can think of it as just God as the universe. If you use the concept, either way, if you surrender to this concept of the universe or God, it's going to help you quite a bit along the way. Or surrendering to your concept of Shakti. Now, if some New Agey person tells you to surrender to Shakti, and you look it up and on the internet and Google it, and you see that it's some sort of goddess residing in your sacrum, you might be a little bit freaked out. But if you think about in just terms of awakening potential and some sort of just a characterization of the awakening potential in your higher mind, or the energies that be, then you find that it's just useful to think of things in terms of symbols. It's just easier. And once your mind makes all the matching and neural pathways and links it up together, you'll find that it's just a nice way to put things, especially when other people understand, get the same meaning from the same symbols. The problem is that you have so many competing. Some people think that the Arcturian starseeds are reborn Pleiadians, light workers. Shamans, witches. Anything, and they might Bible thumpers who tell you, that you got to talk to angels and things like that. So in some sense, you just got to look for the metaphor. You look for the deeper meaning behind what they're saying. They might be very, very convinced at the truth or the sort of unique reality of what they're saying, because we all make our own cosmologies in our mind. Especially as Kundalini people, we tend to get pretty set on ideas. We form our own individual belief systems based on our own particular experiences and the knowledge that we've come across. And generally speaking, they're not the same. So some people might tell me about their experience, and I'll just end up thinking that they're really kooky, like kind of nuts. But if I look behind what they're saying, I'll understand that they're pretty much saying the same thing as I wanted to say, just using different words. So you might not feel comfortable with somebody dressed up in orange robes with dots on their heads. It doesn't matter, It's a biophysiological process that's happening to you, and as I say, you don't have to pay attention too much to it. As the Zen teachers say, don't attach to these feelings. They are very low level, a lot of them. And the Zen masters used to carry sticks around just to hit students that would bring up all these issues and think that they're important, but they're not important. The important thing is that you just keep going the path that you're following, whether it has to do with meditation and detoxing or whatever you're doing. Just keep on going and doing with and surrendering to just surrendering and letting go and simplifying your life as much as possible. So I'm going to get into some of the specific grounding techniques. So for example, exercise, yoga, swimming in salt water like the sea, or saltwater baths, getting out in nature like this. I feel 100% better than I did just this morning when I was in Starbucks writing these notes down. I almost don't want to read this out. I almost don't want to finish this video. I just feel so good, and I just don't feel like there's any problem. So nature walks, if you want to ground your energy, I've heard specifically it's good to touch trees with your hand and just imagine the energy is going into the tree, into the root system. You can even imagine your own root system going down to the center of the earth, rooting yourself. And then there's this whole school of thought that Kundalini is dangerous, and because it's kind of filtered down into the popular psyche of people due to the church and due to some of the more extreme cases that seem to make the forum rounds, and of course people always tend to focus on the worst. So that's why Kundalini has a kind of reputation as being dangerous, but that's just for people, for example, who are mentally unstable to start with. And Kundalini really tests your stability. You got to maintain, you have to be very willing to maintain a stability, and finding the way to maintain stability by any means possible, whether it means buying into kooky beliefs and just go ahead and buy into some kooky beliefs. As long as you are able to function, you feel all right. I spent 6 months just worried that people wouldn't understand what I'm feeling, because I was just feeling so many whacked out, crazy type of Kundalini awakening symptoms that I was almost gone to panics that this thing resonating in my mind that people just wouldn't understand. Now that I think about it, I talk to you about it, why should I care if people understand or not what I was going through? But at that time in my life, that's what resonated. And people go through, and you just have to accept that you're going to go through probably some difficult times, dark nights of the soul, or dark months of the soul, and or dark years as some people. But just keep what I'm saying in mind. Just don't attach too much to anything. Get out in nature as much as possible. It's just so relaxing. And don't think of the symptoms as anything as bad, because basically it's your body evolving, and what you're feeling, you might be painful, or you might equate to something that might be disease related, but it's not. So you're not doing any favors by looking at these symptoms as negative, because they're not negative. And it's once you understand to relax into the higher energy states, it's going to help you a lot more. Even though the energy sometimes will get stronger and stronger, and you'll have to learn to relax more and more into higher and higher energies. You kind of get with the program, and the program is that you're going to evolve. And Kundalini wants to simplify your life and make it less complicated for you to just go out in nature. Maybe you have to quit your job. Maybe you have to release some of your friends and stop associating with certain people and family. But you'll find that as you become more and more a spiritual person, you're going to have to start acting and doing things that spiritual people that you know that they do. So this is a video I was trying to make, and hopefully you made sense of it. Okay, thanks.